Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or if you saw my first video, welcome back. My name's Reno, and a week ago I decided to record a YouTube video about a influencer, and I actually had a lot of fun doing that. So I decided I wanted to keep making content, and I didn't want it all focused on that influencer. So I had to sit down and have a think about what I want to do going forward. I have a few ideas of different topics and conversations I want to have and cover. My channel is not going to be specific. It'll be different videos for different things. So there'll be internet drama. There's going to be some true crime, which is something I love. And I've got a script almost done for my first wine and crime episode. I also want to talk about fitness and health, which are very important topics to me. The reason I look like a mess is because I get up friggin' early and work out, and it's Sunday. I haven't done what I wanted to do, but I thought I'd just sit down, do this video before my day really gets started, although it's already 9 in the morning, which means I've used up half my morning already. I'm a very early person. But anyway, I think to begin, I want to talk about where my journey with food and fitness started, which was in childhood. I was diagnosed at a very young age with ADHD, and I was medicated with Ritalin, which is essentially legal speed. On Ritalin, I did not have an appetite nor interest in food. I never developed a relationship with food. I was painfully thin. And this went on until I was about 14, 15. I'd say 14, when I annoyed with what I perceived as a stigmatization by having to take medication. Even though no one at my school knew, I felt somehow stigmatized. I felt different because I thought I'm the only person having to go through this. I convinced my parents and my pediatrician that I didn't need the medication anymore, so I came off. Having not developed a relationship with food or learned to understand my hunger signals, I suddenly got this appetite that I didn't know how to control. And I began to eat and eat and eat. By the time I graduated high school, it's hard to tell because when I started at that school, I was in kid sizes. When I finished, I was in ladies, but I definitely expanded. I would have been a size 12 when I left school, which when you're only 151 centimeters, that's under 5 foot tall. That's big. It looks big. You can see in the photo, my before and after picture, actually, which is from February 2020 to February 2021. That was when I was starting to push a size 16 Australian. So I gained a fair bit of weight. I was aware of that, and by the year after I graduated high school, I was very aware of my weight and I began to yo-yo diet. Not in a bad way. I don't think I ever have done what could be truly classified as an extreme diet, but I would start these diets, go in full force. I'm going to exercise 7 days a week. I'm going to only eat vegetables. And okay, never, as I said, never extreme dieted. It was never only vegetables. Now you have to excuse me. I've had a throat infection. I'm drinking tea. I love tea. So this is I don't want to tilt it too much, but this is chai tea from T2. Something I plan to do with my internet drama videos is going to be having my tea, and we can talk a bit about it just to alleviate everything. So this is chai tea from T2. It's breaking one of my rules, which is don't drink calories. I've got some soy milk and some honey in it because of my throat. But anyway. So following graduating high school in 2011, and then pretty much learning to diet in 2012, I really fluctuated back and forth for years. So I would be up to a size 16, I'll drop down to a size 12, and I'll just go back and forth between those numbers, but never really got far. Various reasons. I would do these challenges, which were really good. Australian Sports Nutrition would do these 60-day or 10-week challenges where you had your food, you had your exercise plan, and you'd go. The issue with them, for someone who's just trying to lose weight, is it doesn't set you up with long-term healthy habits, in my opinion, because of how it's capped. It is very strict, and not restrictive. The food's great, but very strict eating and exercise regime for that period, and it's not sustainable. When I was doing the 60-day challenge in 2017, I would get up at 5:30 every single morning, get on my bike, ride to the city where I worked, go to the gym for half an hour to 45 minutes to do weights, ride to my office, work all day, ride home, and if I had the energy, I might socialize, but then it was all restricted. I couldn't go out to dinner because I couldn't eat anything there. I was following this strict meal plan. So it didn't set me up in a lot of healthy habits. What it did do was give me ideas for food. Then we're going to fast forward. So I did a few of those challenges. I yo-yoed a bit. We're going to fast forward to 2020. I have a personal trainer who I was doing boot camps with through my work since 2017. In 2019, we decided to see each other on a more regular basis. And then in 2020, we agreed for that regular basis to be weekly. At the start of 2020, we did an assessment, and I weighed 72 kilos. I don't know what that is in pounds, so I'm just going to look it up while I talk. So I weighed 72 kilos, which I'm pretty sure at that point was the heaviest I'd ever been. It was certainly the heaviest I'd ever been aware of me being. And we had the conversation of what do you want to do and everything. And I said, I want to lose weight. So I was 158 pounds at that stage. And that's what we decided our focus would be. He said to me, you're fairly active. You know, you've done all these challenges. You know what good food is. You can do this. So cool. We agreed for a 6-month review because we thought that I'd be pretty much on the right track. COVID, of course, hit in March. When COVID hit, I started working from home, but immediately I committed to exercising every day, and I would walk. I was walking 2.5 hours a day in the morning and not at night time, which is great. If that's where you want to start, that's great. Walking is fantastic. We got to June and I did my weigh-in, and I came back at 75 kilos, which is 165 pounds. That is definitely the heaviest I've ever been. It was quite confrontational for me to put a number to it and to realize where I was with my body. Remembering I'm only 151 centimeters. I'm not a big person to begin with. I don't have a big frame. That was a lot of weight to be carrying. And I know why I gained weight. COVID hit. My partner and I, my boyfriend, Ryan, we just went for it with food. We were ordering so much takeout, and it was my fault. I was the one behind it. Ryan loves cooking, and I'd be like, oh, it's been a long day. This whole thing's stressful. Let's order takeout. We had our coffee table covered in cans from one of our favorite restaurants. They were doing quarantinis, which were little cans of their various cocktails. And I was getting 2 or 3 of these for myself with every meal. We were ordering this once a week on top of all the other food we were ordering, lots of comfort food and the like. It just wasn't good. Oh, we've got a cat. Come here, Sasa. We've now been joined by Miss Sasa. This is Zara. She is a rescue. Everyone should love Zara because she loves everyone. And she also photobombed my last video. So I spoke to my personal trainer at this weigh-in, and he essentially said to me, you've got to, I hope this is still straight. Yeah, so he said to me, you've got to commit. and he made a deal. His sister is a nutritionist. He said, go see my sister, get a consultation, get a meal plan. If after 6 weeks you're unhappy with this, I'll refund you the money for seeing my sister. I, of course, agreed. What did I have to lose at this point? Ryan and I filled in some questionnaires about food we could and couldn't eat, what we did and didn't like, and we then met with her and had a talk. The meal plan we were given is absolutely fantastic. We have gone back twice since and gotten 2 further meal plans just to add variety, and I began to lose weight. Another thing, though, I will say is I didn't stop walking. I started upping the intensity of my workouts. I really committed to what I wanted. So instead of just walking, I took up jogging for bits, and it got longer and longer and longer until I'm actually now running as far as I used to walk. I think actually some days I've ran further than what I was walking. And the weight started to come off. And as the months have gone on, so this was June 2020, I'm filming this in February, I have lost 15 kilos, or, we're going to jump back on here, 33 pounds. I want to lose another 5 kilos, so another 11 pounds before I'm done, but my focus has changed. Doing what I've done this time, it's very different to the challenges I've done previously, because it wasn't just a 60-day burst or a 10-week burst where it's very intense. I went through periods where it was a lot more intense, but everything I have done has been based on what I'm going to say realistic expectation. It's varied from week to week. So the food's been the great one. I can just follow the meal plan. But it's also, I've found at least, intuitive. I can look at a meal and go, I can change these elements around. And advice was provided by the nutritionist on things I can add and detract and change. But you start to understand how you can move things around a bit to get different meals. The exercise part of it, I'll admit, I like exercise. I find it soothing. So I've gone to that quite intensely. When I really decide to kick into gear, when I decided to really kick into gear, one of the things I did, and obviously this was taking advantage of the situation that I was working from home, I started bike riding every day at lunch. I live near some mountain bike trail. I own a mountain bike. I'd go out every day. Cycling has been a fairly big part of my life since 2016 when I moved to the lovely city I now live in. I have lots of friends who mountain bike ride. And as I'd gotten bigger, especially during COVID, I became very uncomfortable riding. I'd had issues all along, but one of the big things had become when I was pedaling and leaning forward, my thighs were touching my stomach, and it was very uncomfortable for me. I didn't feel good, and when you're uncomfortable doing something, you don't want to do it. So my riding was becoming less and less. I took that back. I went out every day, and as I lost weight, I felt the bike becoming easier to handle. My stomach stopped touching my thighs when I was riding, and it felt really, really good. Running is a special kind of hell. You got to be a masochist to love it, I think. But it's been great for me because it's something I can just go out, pound the pavement for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, however long I want, and get the endorphins going and burn the calories I need to burn. So that's been my journey so far. I've still got further to go. I am currently trying to focus more on weightlifting and building muscle. With only 5 kilos to go with fat loss, essentially, I want to build up the muscle because my muscle mass is quite low. But having said that, quite proud of that. It's pretty solid. So advice. I want to give some advice based on my journey. This is my personal experience with weight loss, fitness, and the rest. Oh, I've got 2 cats in here. Hi, Tequila. Do you want to come be on film? Hi. She doesn't want to. Tequila is also a rescue from the same place as Zara. Very different personality though, and if I ever catch her on camera during a video, it will be a small miracle. Oh, she's laid down in a little sun patch. Sorry, distracted by the cat. There's also a dog, just so everyone knows. We've got a bit of a menagerie going on. So first and foremost, find an exercise you enjoy. Just something you enjoy, even if it's walking. Walking for short periods doesn't really do much calorie wise, but if you like walking and you are a larger person, any extra movement will be of benefit to you. Maybe this is depending on your weight, depending on everything, you can start working up to jogging. I know when I started jogging, I would get really sore knees and really sore Achilles. That stopped now as I've gotten lighter and fitter, and also stretched out the Achilles muscles, Achilles tendon. Anyway, so finding exercise you enjoy, because if you enjoy it, you're more likely to do it. So that was me with mountain bike riding. I really rediscovered my joy for mountain bike riding, and I was going out every day for a long time. The only reason that stopped was we got the dog, and I've had to prioritize. So when I'm working from home, often on lunch break, I take the dog out instead because he needs to exercise, but he makes a great running buddy. As he gets older and older, I'll actually be able to run with him. At the moment, it's a light jog because I don't want to damage his joints or cause him any pain. So it's a light jog with him setting the pace. And that's another thing. If you have a pet, like a dog, maybe not your cats. I don't think my cats would want to walk. But if you have a dog, take them for a walk. Just an extra walk, a bit longer. Just find something you enjoy and do it. It will make a difference. Cat wants out. Advice piece number 2. Food. I have been adjusting and changing my food for years. I remember being quite proud in 2016 when I gave up drinking calories except alcohol, because I like alcohol, okay? I'm a drinker with a riding problem, just so we're all clear. But even then, I've actually reduced my alcohol consumption in the last year. But overall, reducing the calories you drink is really important, especially soft drink. Even the low sugar ones or the zero sugar ones have their problems, in my opinion. I believe like those fake and artificial sugars they put in them to keep the sweetness is just, it's all chemicals. It can be carcinogenic. There's no solid proof that it does cause health issues in itself, but I just don't see why we need to be drinking it. So I gave up juice and soft drink and all of that and changed to soda water. I do occasionally drink kombucha tea, which does have calories, but that's a treat. That's like maybe once a month or something. Same with alcohol. During all the challenges I did, I would not drink alcohol for the entire period. This time around, because it's a lifestyle change, it's not a challenge, this isn't going to change. When I hit my goal weight, when I'm as muscular as I want to be and everything, I'm not going to stop eating healthy. I'm still going to be aware of my food and my exercise. So I didn't cut out alcohol completely this time, but I reduced greatly. I maybe drink once or twice a month now, only on social occasions. And I think about it. I think, why am I drinking? How much do I want to drink? And there's been times I've been out at the pub with friends where I've actually sat there and gone, I actually don't want a drink. I used to be unable to control myself. I'll be the first at the bar if I could get there first. Now it's like, why? I don't need it. I'm having a good time anyway. I'm just going to have a soda water. Soda water saved me. That's my soft drink. That's for me. So that's my next piece of advice, making small changes. And I addended and added on, don't drink calories if you can avoid it. As I said, like today, I've got my tea, which has calories in it. which is very rare for me. Got to be careful. And this is going to sound horrible. I got to be careful because I don't want to drink too much. I don't want to get too used to it. So I'm going to go back to just plain black tea or herbal teas. Teas without adding anything in the next few days once my throat clears up entirely. So yeah. The next thing I want to talk about with replacements is getting rid of sweets. They're high calorie. I love chocolate. Oh, I love chocolate. But something I've learned to do, which I couldn't do previously, is I can keep blocks of chocolate in the house for weeks and weeks. I had some for months a while back, unopened. Once they're opened, I kind of believe you've got to eat them in the next couple of weeks. But changing it from like the high sugar white chocolate or even like the Cadbury just dairy milk chocolate and you have all your additives and everything and flavorings, just slowly transitioning to dark chocolate. This isn't a change I've actually been able to successfully make yet entirely. I'm on 75% dark cocoa, however they say it, but with caramel in it. I'm really struggling with this step, but I think it's an important one to cut back on the treats. That's not saying you can never have them. Last week when I first got my throat infection, all I wanted was ice cream for days and days. All I wanted was an ice cream. And finally, after a few days of being sick, I thought to myself, you know what? It's not going to kill me. I'm going to have one ice cream. So I went to the convenience store, I got a chocolate cornetto, and it was the best decision I'd made. I felt good. It helped me feel better because ice cream makes everything better. And it's fine. I don't think it in any way sabotaged me. So keeping your relationship with food healthy is very important. You just got to understand what you're putting in your body. The next thing, I hear the advice all the time, and I just want to point it out. I'm sure, like, if I know other people point this out. People say, make your meal healthier by adding more vegetables. It depends. How are you... Oh, my cat's shedding. How are you cooking the vegetables? Are they fried, essentially? Are they cooked in lots of oil and salt and butter? Or are they steamed or boiled? How are you cooking them? And further to that, are you taking something out? What I mean by this is, so when I started with my nutritionist, one of the things, I had a freezer full of gym meals. And we sat down and looked at them, and she said, these meals are made for someone who's been more active than you. And at the time, remember, I wasn't that active. Now I would probably be able to eat them just fine as a meal. And so what her recommendation was is to remove half the carbs, so that was usually rice or pasta, and replace that with vegetables. And the reason for that is if you're adding vegetables, even if they're steamed or ever, and not taking something else away, you're just adding calories. While if you, say, remove half the rice and add vegetables that are just steamed or something, no butter, no anything, they are going to be less calories than what you've taken out. So that's another piece of advice. This cat is just, I don't know if people can see her. 2 seconds. I'm just going to move my camera around. That's my cat. This is Zaza. Hi, Zaza. That's how she's lying in front of me. You can see all her hair on my pants. Now, knowing my luck, like I'm half out of the frame or something ridiculous. But anyway, so that was another thing. Also, you're going to get comments. When you lose weight, you are going to get comments. Some said kindly, some not, depends what environments you're in. So I know online, for example, you'll semi-often, I have actually had personal experience with them, and I'm glad, you'll run into the fat activists who might comment on your stuff saying, this is fat phobic, there's nothing wrong with your body, why are you trying to change your body? Don't listen to them. It's your body, and if you want to lose weight and feel better in your body and be able to do more things, good on you. I'm going to support you 100%. People should feel comfortable in their bodies and they should be able to do the things they enjoy. The other one you'll run into are people who, I don't know what they're thinking. I like to think it comes from a place of good. I know I get a lot of ladies especially older ladies saying things like this to me. And I'm sure they mean it as a compliment, but I often get, "Oh, Reno, you're going to wither away to nothing. Oh, Reno, there'll be none of you left." I'm still here. I don't know. I'm sure, like, I like to think they're coming from a good place, these comments, but I don't know. And I just say ignore them or turn them into something positive in your head going, yeah, I have lost a lot. So for me, having lost 15 kilos, that's a lot from me. Like, that is a lot of body weight when you think about how tiny I am. So surround yourself with positive people who are going to support you. And that's what I've got for the most part. I've got friends, for the most part, who are so supportive. Recently, I posted on my Facebook my weight loss pictures, which I'm putting up with this video. And all I got was congratulations. We're proud of you. You've worked so hard for this. And that's the thing. I have worked hard. It is hard work. Weight loss is not easy. It doesn't happen overnight. I think my weight loss has actually been quite fast just because I've combined the healthy eating with a lot of exercise. I've really embraced exercising. I've had weeks. So I use a Fitbit and they use Active Minutes, and the recommendation is 100. Sorry for the interruption. Kat decided she wanted to sleep on the support for the tripod. She's still half on it, so hopefully... Yeah, I'm talking about you. As I was saying, I use a Fitbit. So that's my Fitbit Charge 4. As you can see, everything's quite low this morning. I got a lot of work to do after this video. Probably going to go for a run or a ride with the partner. Oh, my throat. So Fitbit uses the American Heart Foundation, I believe, to do a recommendation of 150 minutes of low intensity exercise per week or 75 minutes of high intensity. And on the Fitbit, if you enter cardio mode, what will happen is, so your heart rate's elevated. For every minute you're in that elevated heart rate, you get 2 active minutes. So I've had weeks where I have earned over 1,000 active minutes through my workouts because I've kept my heart rate high. So I probably only did 600. When I say only, sorry, that sounds really bad. I probably did about 500 to 600 minutes of work. And that's a lot. That's not sustainable. I can't do that every week. But it is something to be aware of, that I do exercise a lot. And I will. If I've got time, I will go for a run. If the weather allows, I'll go for that run. I'll go for that ride. I'll go to the gym and lift quite heavy weights. Comparatively, I actually want to start lifting heavier. So my final piece of advice is simply to educate yourself a little. I hate that phrase. But anyway, just figuring out food and how much food is in calories, getting a vague idea of what you're burning. So that is something you can look up online to find out what your base metabolic rate is. And then you can kind of work out what you would burn and adjust your calories to that. When I started with my meal plan, I went on MyFitnessPal for a little while. It's not something I can do long term, but for a couple of weeks, I counted my calories. And this was really helpful for me, just learning what I was putting in my body and helping me then figure out what I could swap things for. Excuse me. As I said, I can't do that long term. I become very obsessive with numbers. That's why I've been doing more challenges around active minutes. And even then, every few weeks, I might go, this week, I want to do 600 active minutes or 700 active minutes. And yeah, so just understanding food, how it affects your body and everything is really helpful. I hope everybody found this video helpful wherever you are in your weight loss journey, whether you're just beginning, whether you're in the middle, maybe you just like watching weight loss and fitness videos. I hope it was helpful. I do plan on doing more of these in particular, as it's a topic that interests me and that is important to me. If you're enjoying my content, you might want to hit that like button, and if you want to see more of me, hit that subscribe button. I now have a Twitter dedicated to my YouTube channel. My partner said I should probably not use the one I've been using that I intended to use. So my Twitter is Reno_Kitsune. It is a completely weeb name, I know, but I'm using it, and maybe I'll do a video about how that name came to be, and we can all laugh at me together. But anyway, I've been Reno. Thanks for watching my video.